going to be creating a project, a program, which will discuss how to declare the character variables and how to declare the string variables. So let's start a project. So you go to the Visual Studio 2019 and you click on Create a New Projects. And once this create a new project screen opens, go to the empty project and go to the console and hit on next. I'm going to rename this project as character and string variables. And as I explained to you in the past, you should leave it as checked so that the name of the solution is going to be exactly same as the project name. So in this case here, the name of this will be character and string variables. Click on the create. It may take some time, but eventually you should have a project created. So this is your project now, and here in this project, you have the Solution Explorer and you have the Team Explorer. We should not worry about the Team Explorer. All we need to worry at this moment is about the Solution Explorer. This one basically gives you the name of the projects and where all the files are getting stored. So if you look here, this tells you where exactly the files are located in case you need to access to that particular folder to open it later on. But the first thing what you're going to do is you're going to click on the source file and you right click and you add a new item. And here you are going to add a C++ file, which is going to have the extension .cpp. And as in the past, we are going to change the name of this as main.cpp. Add it, and you should have this file open here. Now, as we have done in the previous examples, we are going to include IO stream. So let's go here, include IO stream. As you know, this is basically for This is basically for making sure that you have got all the input and output functions available in your program. For example, cout, which is included in the IO stream. So if you do not have this IO stream included in your source file, it will create problem for you. So just include IO stream. Then you have to use another line of code which is very important, and we have been using that in all of our previous videos, which is using namespace std. Again, this is required so that when you run the program or when you build the program, the compiler knows from where all these names are coming. For example, cout, from where it is coming. The cout is basically included in the standard namespace. That's why we are putting it, the namespace is standard, so that when you're building the program, the compiler knows where to go to get the information about that particular object, which could be, for example, cout. So let's write the main function here, int main. This we have discussed in the past. We are going to declare a main function because that's the place where the program starts. And every program must have at least one function which is called the main function, because that's the place from where the program starts. So let's declare the variables. So to declare the variables, we have a char var1. Then I'm doing char var2, char var3. Okay. Now let's use the assignment. So I want to give the variable 1 a value called a. So var1 equals to a. Now when you are giving the character assignment to any variable, you have to make sure that you are putting that character in single quote. So here var1 is a, var2 is b, var3 is c. Right? Now we want to check whether these variables are actually having these values or not. So we want to check it whether var1 is having a, var2's value is b, and var3 value is c. So we are going to use the cout and stored in a is var1 and then end our character, right? So you can just copy and paste it 3 times. And change it to sorry, var1 is var1, the value stored in var2 is, you have to change this to var2, and var3 should be var3. And then you have the return type. So return 1, return 0, And as I had explained you in the past, you need to put the system pause command so that when you're running this program outside the Windows Visual Studio, you should be able to see the output of it, and the console should not be getting closed before you are able to see the output. Now here we are going to build this program. So let's go here and we do the rebuild the solution. And what is rebuilding the solution? If everything is working fine here, you should be able to get a success masses. Otherwise, you will get some sort of error, and you have to correct those error masses. So let's try to now run this application, run this program. So you go and start with our debugging here, and that should be bringing the console window and should show that should show the value is stored or the output from the application, and you see here it seems everything is working just great. Now I would like to tell you something. If something is wrong, for example, let's say that after every statement we have to have a semicolon. Let's say for some reason we do not have a semicolon here, and we try to pre-build the solution, it will give some sort of error to you, and you can see this red underlined, red squiggly tells that something is not correct and we need to correct that. So here this shows that there has been some error, and it says here the build is not succeeded and it has failed. And if you go to the error tab, error list tab, it gives you what exactly we are missing. So if you click on this, it tells you that on the line 15 we are missing a semicolon. So if you go here, if you click on this here, it tells you the example, or rather it gives you some sort of indication where the mistake is and you need to correct it. So you go here and you need to correct that, and once you correct it and build it, it should be working just fine. So the windows which is basically near your which is below your source code gives you the information in case there's any error in the code and you need to correct that to recompile it. So this is basically how you declare the character variables and how you assign values to them. Now let's say that you want to assign your complete name, So for example, if I want to assign the complete name here, let's say I have got another variable. So I'm going to declare a variable var4, character var4, and then I see var4 equals to ABCDEF, right? If I do that, let's see whether it works or not, So if you compile this program, so here I have declared a character variable, var4, and I'm assigning a value equal to A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, let's say it works or not. You can see right from here there's something is wrong, and basically if you look at the code here, this tells that there's something wrong here. This something is not happening. So let's do it. Let's rebuild the solution. And it says that it cannot convert from a character 8 to a character. So basically we cannot assign a character variable var4 and try to store a string which is A, B, C, D, E, F. This character variable can store only one character. It cannot store more than one character. So to take care of that, we have got another type of variable, another type of library which is called string. So to use this string, we have to use include, and that should be a string. Okay. Once you have that, then instead of having just the character var4, I'm going to declare a string type of variable and my var. Okay. And then I'm assigning this my var value A, B, C, D, E, F, and then I'm going to print this. If you see here, this seems to be working all right now because the error which was there is no more there, or the red squirrely which was there is no more there. And if we do it here, if we try to print out that string, we can always do it from here, and all we need to do it here is my var and print my var here. Print my var. So the way a string or a character variable is output on the console, it's the same basically. You use this insertion operator, we call it insertion operator, and the meaning of this is entire this thing is getting into this particular object which is called cout, and that is basically the console here. So let's compile it or build it. We need to build the solution. And if everything is working all right, it means it has been successful. And then we can go here and we can just start with our debugging. And here it is. You see everything is there as it is. Now, you might be having some question that why do we have a double quote around the string and a single quote about a character? That's really not very, that's really for build to understand, for the compiler to understand that whether we are talking about a character or we are talking about a string altogether. So let's do one thing. Let's instead of having a double quote here, I can do a single quote and see if this works fine. If not, then so if you try to build this one, if you try to do this thing, it seems we are having some sort of issue. And what it is saying is that too many characters in the constant in the line 24 means you cannot use the single quote. Instead of single quote, you have to use Oh, sorry. This is fine. I think I made a mistake here. Let's go here and just use this. This is what I wanted to do. And you see here, and if you go and build it, you'll be getting more or less same error. I mean, not, yeah, too many characters in constant. So this single quote is true only for one character. It is not good in case there's more than one character and you have to use the double quote. So use the double quote to take care of this problem and you should be just fine. So if you go here, rebuild your solution, solution is going to be successfully built, and you should be able to run it. Okay, so this is all I wanted to explain to you in this particular video, and hopefully you have got any idea now how to declare a single character variable which can store a single character, or how to store a multi-character variable which is of the string type which can store more than one character. So thank you very much for watching this.